Welcome to Directing Intelligent Tools, AI Fluency for Business Leaders. I am Dr. Zhao, and over the next 8 modules, I'm going to change the way you think about artificial intelligence. Not the technology itself. The technology is fine. The technology is, frankly, quite impressive. The problem is us. In fact, we now live in a world where intelligence is suddenly cheap, fast, and everywhere. However, while the technology seems to be remarkably capable and often astonishing to many of us, what is far less prepared is the way most organizations and leaders are trying to use it. And that gap is what this course is about. This is Module 1, the paradox. I start here deliberately because without understanding this paradox, everything else in this course becomes dangerous in the same way that advanced machinery is dangerous without training. You can operate it, you can get results, and you can do real damage as well without realizing it. Let me begin with a real story. A real company, a serious leadership team, competent people acting in good faith. They invested $2 million in AI. Enterprise licenses, external consultants, internal training programs, workshops, yes, with sticky notes. On paper, they did everything right. 6 months later, do you know what they had? Nothing. When they reviewed the results, they pretty much had nothing. Well, to be precise, they had some activity. They had usage metrics. They had documentation. They also had invoices. Many of them. What they did not have was measurable transformation, strategic advantage, or return on investment. Now, here's the interesting part, and this is the part that keeps executives up at night. The technology worked exactly as advertised. No failures, no outages, no broken promises. So the problem was not the AI. The problem was, in fact, simpler and more uncomfortable. No one knew what to ask it to do. The organization had access to some of the most powerful cognitive tools ever created, and they used them primarily, well, to speed up tasks that were not very valuable to begin with. Email polishing, document summaries no one acted on, generic content that blended into the noise. $2 million did not buy transformation, it bought slightly faster mediocrity. This was not a failure of intelligence. The missing piece was direction. This leads us to what I call the technology questioning paradox. And here is the paradox. As technology becomes more capable, it does not reduce the importance of human judgment. In fact, it exposes its limits. When tools were weak, ambiguity was survivable. When tools are powerful, ambiguity becomes expansive. Before AI, it was possible to hide uncertainty behind processes. We had meetings, we had reviews, and of course, some delays. And we could always say, well, let us circle back on that later. Now, intelligent systems respond immediately and competently to almost any instruction. And they wait for one thing: clarity. And when the system asks, what do you want? many organizations discover that they do not actually know. This is why I want to be very precise about this point. The defining skill of the AI era is not prompt engineering, although that's very important. It is not your familiarity with tools. It is problem framing, knowing what matters, knowing what success looks like, knowing which questions are worth asking. Simply put, knowing what should I ask. What should I ask? If you can answer that question well, AI becomes a force multiplier. If you cannot, it becomes a cost center that looks productive while quietly eroding judgment. That tension is the paradox. Now you might be thinking, okay, Dr. Zhao, interesting theory, but I'm busy. Why should I care? Let me put it directly. Artificial intelligence is not replacing leaders. What it is doing is reshaping the performance envelope of teams and organizations. Leaders who can direct intelligent systems effectively are now able to move faster without losing rigor, see patterns their competitors miss, scale judgment, not just execution. Organizations led this way do not eliminate people, they redefine what high performance looks like. And that redefinition is already underway. Right now, every industry is splitting into two trajectories. One group is learning how to use AI to compress time, expand analysis, and improve decision quality. The other group is using the same tools for cosmetic improvements and personal convenience. The gap between those two groups compounds very quickly. Your competitors are not waiting. This is not a threat. It is simple accumulation. Small advantages applied daily scale faster than most organizations expect. As someone who wears the hats of a scholar, practitioner, and entrepreneur, over the last few years, I've seen many organizations struggle with this paradox. And I see the same three failure modes repeat. They're, in fact, not moral failures. They are structural ones. Failure mode A is about misaligned tools. This happens when enthusiasm outruns clarity. In many companies and organizations, we need AI becomes the decision. The actual problem, however, remains undefined. I agree we need AI, but for what? You can't say we'll figure that part out later. The thing is, we won't. We will figure out later that we have wasted money. And we will figure that part out very efficiently. Indeed, when money gets spent, the momentum sometimes feels real, but the outcomes very often remain vague. Failure mode B is what I call the interface gap. Leaders know what they want in business terms, but their teams often cannot translate that intent into instructions a system can act upon. The result is often output that sounds plausible but does not move decisions forward. That's why I designed this course, and in this full course, we're going to look at structured templates and how they make a measurable difference. Failure mode C This one is the most sensitive. Under-trained foundations. You see, AI amplifies what already exists. Clear thinking becomes leverage. Unclear thinking becomes noise. This is not about intelligence. It is really just about preparation. Now, in this course, particularly in modules 3 and 4, we focus entirely on building foundations that are worth amplifying. Now, this course exists because those problems that we outlined are solvable systematically. The course is designed for application, not mere consumption. When you enroll in the full course, here's what comes with it. You will receive 8 worksheets, including the AI readiness diagnostic, the failure mode assessment, the foundation audit, the 90-day implementation roadmap. We will also give you a complete prompt template library, including ready-to-use templates for analysis, strategy, communication, and decision support. You will also be able to calculate return on investment so that you can prove value to your stakeholders with real numbers. And we will also give you a tool selection matrix that you can use to evaluate any AI tool objectively before you spend $1. And upon completion, you will receive a certificate. And that also qualifies you for our referral-based advisory services. But more on that when we get to the end of this course. So here's where we are, Module 1. I've been showing you the paradox, why capable technology doesn't automatically empower capable teams. Module 2 through 8 will give you the complete solution, the framework, the templates, the implementation methodology. If you want to close that gap, and if you want to move from experimentation to direction, I would be glad to work with you through the full course. But now you have understood the paradox, and you have understood that powerful tools do not replace thinking. In fact, powerful tools reward thinking. What you do next is your own decision, and I hope to see some of you in Module 2. Thank you.